still a very emotional day.
No, I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, just imagine how you're going to be the last day you're on the air.
Oh, man.
Well, no, it's not going to be that.
He won't even be aware of it. Come on, you kidding?
Where are they taking me, Chuck?
Who's on tomorrow, Bernie?
The show's been canceled, Mr. Imus.
You're not.
Somebody get Brandon here. I'm out.
Where are they taking me?
Imus in the morning.
Where are they taking me? Hey, Chuck, where
Are
are
we moving studios again, Daddy?
Are we at the ranch?
Get Chernoff over here.
Chuck, we got a remote here, or what's the...
How come my monitor's not working? What?
In the morning on the Fan, Morse Radio 66, WFAN.
ABC Tonight on the 3 in New York.
Morse Radio 66, the Fan, WFAN, New York.
Well, good evening to you, and how you be at 6:30 and 5 seconds on a Monday night on your Fan, New York City. Steve Summer is here and you there. John Schmilk, Eddie Robinson are on the other side of the glass. 1-718-937-6666. That'll be the number for the 50-minute schmooze as we take you until the Nets pregame, 7:20. Nets and Philly at 7:30 here on your Fan, New York. 38-10, just
22 at the hour here on the Amish Morning program on the radio all over the country. And on MSNBC Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Rather harsh assessment there from Francesa, didn't you think?
God, yes. Wow. Marv's getting murdered.
Oh, look, there's a guy coming from a guy who's, hosts a TV show. It's a fat guy sitting on a couch talking about football.
You leave him alone.
Well, you're not going to stick up for yourself? Wait, does he have pictures of you with
He's got something.
with some Asian boys,
Forget it.
in a motel or what?
Sure. Oh, I think Mike was just trying to be funny, don't you?
No,
I didn't get that feeling at all. No.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's serious.
What, Sid?
No, I didn't get that feeling at all. I feel like he hates it.
Well, I just don't think that's true.
All right.
Do you have a sports report, by the way?
Yes, St. John's in Pittsburgh tonight for some college basketball. Remember last
Who
time?
would care about that?
Well, only because remember last time they went to Pittsburgh, what happened?
No.
That's the night that after the game, they all went out and they went to that bar and the strip joint and the hookers and all that stuff and try to pay the girls $6 instead of $600. The next thing you know, the whole team is suspended and turned out to be a disaster for St. John's basketball. They had to fire the coach and the ba-ba-ba. And now, a year later, they're actually doing a lot better with the program. But the last time St. John's was in Pittsburgh, that's exactly what happened. Pretty good story, don't you think?
Well, unlikely it would happen this time.
Well, I don't know. You never know. You can only hope it does. That's all we can say.
Yeah.
Two other big games in college basketball tonight feature Illinois taking on Michigan. Illinois is still unbeaten, man. And Boston College will play at Notre Dame tonight. They're unbeaten as well. In fact, for the midday show with myself and Joe Beningo coming up locally here at 10 o'clock in New York.
Nobody cares.
Well, we're going to bring on Digger Phelpso, the former Notre Dame coach.
Oh, great.
And every time I talk to Digger now, I think of Bernie and the unfortunate incident that took place with Nigel Innes. Because I think the same thing actually happened to Digger once on ESPN.
Right.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Now you're stretching.
Really?
Yes, I think. No, I told you this, Bernie. Remember I told you this a couple of months ago? It did happen once. One time. He'll be on later on today to talk about some college
A
basketball.
little
That's
misspelling his first name?
Yes, a little misspelling of the first name, Bernie. That's correct.
That's fine. Okay, here on line 3, Frank from Master Bakewell. Hi, Frank.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
Hey, listen, let me get this straight. You instead of making fun of how people look, let's see. You who look like you were dug up after 50 years in the ground and put in front of a light bank. There's not enough good lighting in Secaucus to make you look good.
Yeah.
Oh, my
That's number one. And Sid, who gets a chamois to shine his head as Christmas presents. You got to be kidding me.
Frank, let me ask you something. What would motivate you? Where are you now?
I'm driving. I know you want me to run into a bridge abutment.
No.
I'm driving in my truck in Brooklyn.
Where are you going?
I'm going to put up signs on buildings.
Okay. What would motivate you to call up and make me feel bad?
Because I'm trying to help you out in this dead hour for crying out loud.
Oh,
and I got a few other things for you, too, by the way.
Yeah, what?
You got to stop being a hypocrite when it comes to this thing about the inauguration, how much money they spent. You promoted the Oscars, it's a waste of money, and the Golden Globes is a waste of money. But I haven't heard you say anything about it because, let's see, maybe Mike Lynn represents some of those people, and you also represent some of those people, too?
Oh, 5 to go, 26 after the hour. Well, thanks for Frank for weighing in.
Yeah, thanks for the call.
You jerk. Anything else, Sid?
You know what?
What do you think about Marv Albert and Iron Eagle?
Listen, I love Ian, and I work with Ian quite a bit. I actually work with Ian more now than Mike and Chris do. They used to work for them a long time ago.
Sure.
And see him and talk to him more than Mike and Chris do. But you know what? How can I kill Marv? Who am I to say Marv is old enough, he's made enough money? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my whole life.
Actually, I think, if I have to be honest, I mean, does Marv need this job?
Who cares?
Who cares?
If he needs America?
He has a
Does he
passion.
need it?
He wants to live.
He's a band. You know, if Iron Eagle was a lounge singer at the Bellagio Hotel in Vegas, and Marv Albert took his job, they'd have a point. But Marv's a basketball announcer, and he wants to announce basketball. I've never heard a more idiotic.
Wasn't he doing those TNT games?
Doesn't matter what he's doing. He can do whatever he wants. It's America.
You're allowed to have 8 jobs.
Stop telling people when they've made enough money, when they should stop working. What is that?
I understand all that, but in this particular case, nobody, no, it doesn't make it. Nobody watches and listens to the Nets game on radio anyway. Nets games, and Ian is in the throes of this burgeoning career, and this slams the brakes on it.
Why don't they kill the employer?
Yeah, well, how about going after Bruce Ratner, the guy who owns the Nets, who's decided to get rid of Iron Eagle and bring in Marv Albert?
Iron Eagle works with CBS. He's got plenty of opportunities. Such a talent. They'll be gobbling him up somewhere else in some other market.
Of course, who cares? Of course, if you get to thinking about it, what sort of job is Marv taking when Ian's announcing games that nobody's listened to anyway?
No.
I think there's a point on both sides.
No, there's no point on their side.
I think if I'm Marv, though, I don't take to. I'd do something else.
Sure.
The Iron Man taking a strong position once again.
It would be like if say Chernoff wanted Charles and I and Charles and me and Bernie and so it was me and Bernie and Lou and everybody to stay on until 1 o'clock, which they begged us to do. And we have,
Yeah.
And I have said time and again that the answer is no. We're not going to do that.
Right.
So.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's 12 noon hour would be a good one.
Thanks a lot. That's great. Thanks.
But easily. But
God.
well, at that point, we'd be talking about Mike Lynn's kids.
Holy mackerel.
Oh, boy.
Want to play Evan
Dog.
Thomas again, or what do you guys think?
How's that Al Sharpton pick, guys?
Oh, my God.
28 up to the hour.
Let's go to Lukenbach, Texas, wailing in Willie and the boys. This successful life we're living got us feuding like the Hatfields and McCoys. Between Hank Williams Payne songs and Dewberry's train songs and Blue Eyes crying in the rain. Out of Lukenbach, Texas, ain't nobody feeling no pain. So baby, let's sell your diamond ring, buy some boots and faded jeans and go away. This coat and tie is choking me, and in your high society you cry all day. We've been so busy keeping up with the Jones, 4-car garage, and we're still building on. Maybe it's time we got back to the basics of love. Let's go to Lukenbach, Texas, wailing in Willie and Imus in the morning.
Hi, this is Ben Benson.
I don't know. Looks like it's down. Let me just check here.
All right.
It's down. The second is down around 13 points.
Okay.
So, and the opening bell, sponsored by Leventhal, stocks for bond buyers and bonds for stock buyers. Here with a brief update of what's going on in the world. Chuck McCoy, Charles.
Brief update indeed, man. A couple of the things. They say they have a deal, though it is verbal and not on paper, between the Israeli and Palestinian representatives, leaders of their countries, meeting in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt.
Why can't we get it on paper?
Well, it's just not. They're just not. They're not there yet, man. But they still construe this as a big step forward. But whether or not terrorist groups will also see it as a big step forward certainly remains to be seen.
No.
Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice thanking Italy for its support in Iraq, says the job for international troops there is not over yet. Officials now say an explosion at an Iraqi army recruiting station was a mortar attack, and up to 14 people died in that, a strike in Baghdad. The president going to Detroit to promote his budget and Social Security plans. The day after he sent Congress what he called a lean tax and spending blueprint, the president speaking to the Detroit Economic Club.
No.
Defrocked priest Paul Shanley has been convicted of child rape. Jury hearing Shanley's case in Cambridge, Massachusetts, finding him guilty of child rape, indecent assault, and battery on a child under 14.
Yeah.
And a man identified as Bill told NBC's Today Show program that he, too, was abused by Father Shanley. You got that cut still, Louis, around?
Understand another caller named Bernie called in.
Yes, as a matter of
There
fact,
you
one of a couple of dozen men who claimed that they were
I got it.
molested by Shanley. You got that cut?
got
Go
it.
ahead.
Well, I completely lost faith in not only the Catholic Church, but in any kind of higher power or God. I became very, very self-destructive, drinking a lot, and just lost hope in life and people.
Sure. Became angry.
Tell me some of these whack jobs aren't making some of this stuff up, you know, trying to cash in.
Over 2 dozen men?
Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
What else are you going to say that
A bunch
makes
of
it up?
drunks in Boston, a bunch of drunk deadbeats in Boston looking to cash in, you know,
Sure,
on some of that lawsuit money.
Boy, you are unbelievable. You're in such denial. It's,
I don't deny that it occurred, but you have to be
Well,
cynical
I
when
think
it
in
comes
your
to
own
all of a sudden they remember. I
what
mean,
you
come
agree,
on.
Sid?
I agree 1,000%.
So,
Some priest tries to shove his tongue down my throat. I know I'm telling the world
No, you
when I'm an altar boy, or I'm punching him in the
Well,
mouth.
you repress it.
I punch him in the mouth.
No,
I
you
kick
don't.
him in his groin.
Not when you're 5
Oh,
years
yes,
old.
you do.
No, you
You're a
don't.
little boy.
I'm begging you.
No, you don't.
Most of these guys were adolescents. The majority of these cases, they were adolescents, and it was more like a homosexual kind of thing. And by at that time, these kids should have known enough.
So you're saying they were compliant?
They were yeah, exactly. Or either that, or it never happened, and they're just trying to cash in. Maybe not in all cases, but you have to be cynical. Hey, listen, I kick a priest right in his nuts if he tries to do that
I
to me.
don't, why would we have to go there?
And then I go to the rectory and I tell everybody.
And by the way, why are you trying to blame all of this, these acts of pedophilia on our friends in the homosexual community?
Well, because most of the overwhelming majority of the cases that are involved here, they're all man adolescent. In other words, it's not like, you know, a 6-year-old boy. It's not that classic.
What we're on about.
That's not what you're
in denial.
The perception is that they're.
You're
No, that's a fact, by the way.
You're repressing memories yourself.
Yeah, we're talking about 13, 14. You're talking about mature, young adult males.
Church records showed that officials knew Shanley had publicly advocated sex between men and little boys.
And they tolerated that.
But they continued to transfer him from parish to parish.
They encouraged
That
it.
was awful. Awful. And then,
They loved it.
because they were gays themselves.
I don't know. Pipe down, Sid. You guys have been haven't got a pristine record.
We have
either.
2 bad stories. One guy killed his wife because his girlfriend was hotter, and then one guy put his mouth on a little boy's pee-pee or something.
And he gave him herpes, and the boy died. And he gave 2 other boys herpes.
You got one story. You got
And the
hundreds
only
of
reason that
thousands.
story's out there is because the boy died.
No, the only reason
and
the story
it's
is
an
out
officially
there
sanctioned practice
is because
of your religion.
Some psycho Catholic like you made that story up just so your priest look like a bunch of filthy homos. That's why.
practice.
That's exactly what that story's out there for.
Here now on the Imus in the Morning program, the Reverend Al Sharpton.
I am a firm believer in the concept of change and the basic principle that, for the most part, it's a good thing. But when it's not, it's painful. Such is the case of Don Imus broadcasting his radio and television program from the MSNBC studios in Secaucus, New Jersey. Forget the idea that televising a radio program is idiotic to begin with. One would have thought that concept was rethought right around the time Amos and Andy made the leap, and it became apparent that the white guys who voiced the title characters, even in the pre-politically correct age, weren't gonna cut it. Nothing lamer than a white guy trying to sound like a black man. Amos on MSNBC has the venerable radio curmudgeon on a set that appears to be a cross between a James Bond supervillain's headquarters and what you might suspect a Starbucks looks like on the planet Jupiter. There, the I-Man sits like an over-caffeinated Blofeld, chatting with Charles, who, thankfully for him, seemed to be sitting in an entirely different county in New Jersey. The forced intimacy of the fan studios has been opened up, but in the high-ceilinged steel, glass, and neon facade of the new digs, McCord and Imus seem lost, like 2 tourists who wandered off their studio tour and decided to sit in the chair that Keith Oberfeld inhabits. Look, Margaret, this way he do the countdown. Take a picture. Although the addition of Amy Robeck to the news anchor desk certainly does bring a certain news butter eye candy aspect to the proceeding, one can almost feel the undercurrent of Chuck seasoned with Dan Rather-style Connie Chung homicide thoughts. Other than the futuristic sci-fi set and the occasional sweeping dolly shot of Charles in the Eye Man, there was no real attempt made by MSNBC producer Tom Bigfoot Bowman to add any visual style to the proceedings. First, celebrity guest John Kerry was not in studio. He wasn't even in front of a blue screen slide in the Capitol building. He was on the damn phone. And so when Imus promoted the next morning's appearance of Senator Joe Lieberman, I suspected it wouldn't be so much as an appearance of Joe as it would be a picture of Joe. A concept which, to be honest, might be more aesthetically pleasing when dealing with the host himself. For if there's one thing you can say about Imus, not only is he the original shock jock, he is the original face made for radio.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the 9/11 hearing. I'm Richard Clark, and I got a game for y'all to play. It's real easy. In fact, everybody's been playing this game since, well, for as long as I can remember. Here we go. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. It's a total waste of time, and it's really kind of lame. Now, if you are a name, and you're really worth your soul, you can make a claim that it's someone else's fault. And then you say, no, wasn't me. Then you lay some blame on Osama, Lama, Ho. Then you say another name for everyone to blame, or the FBI, don't you know? Then once you made that claim, then they do the same, till there ain't nobody left for anybody to blame. Culpability's a thing no one wants to claim, so just watch them go, it's just insane. Okay, everybody, that's how you play the blame game. Now make sure you point your fingers while you're doing it. Okay, who's the first person we're gonna blame? Let's blame CIA Director George Tenet. Tenet, Popenet, Osama, Lama, Momenet. The CIA just don't get it. Tenet. That's pretty good. Now let's blame President Bush. Bush, Osama, Lama, Mush. All he did was sit on his tush. Bush. All right, that was good. Now let's try that old slick Willie. Bubba, Osama, Lama, Bo Hubba. He's why we are in this trouble. Bubba. I know who's responsible for letting our kind of go. Condoleezza Rice. Condoleezza, Mona Lisa, Osama, Lama, don't tease her. She's just one big dumb skeezer. Condoleezza. Well, that's how you play the game. Can you think of anybody else to blame? How about Saddam Hussein? The blame game. The blame game. The blame game.
Yeah, 17 till the hour here on the I'm Still Morning program. Oh, man. Well, I'm blaming the last hour of this program, which has been just brutal.
What?
On my eye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that'll work.
So.
We're buying that.
Yeah.
What's wrong with your eye?
Well, I got some in it. I can't get it out. It's been in for 2 days. So it's an eyelash or something.
Oh, okay. So are we addressing that today, then?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's going on in the world?
Well, we were talking about the Paul Shanley case. Also, a 4-year-old Michigan boy, while we're on the subject of little lads, will not face charges for getting behind the wheel of his mother's automobile and managing to drive a quarter mile to a video store to pick up a game for his PlayStation. 4-year-old kid. Happened over the weekend when little Adrian Cole got into his mom's car in the middle of the night, drove 3 blocks down the street to the store. What?
How did he do it?
The store was closed, so he drove back home, hitting 2 parked cars and a police cruiser along the way. And police officer Jay Bogner, got a cut from him, was shocked, understandably, see this little tiny tot behind the wheel.
I saw someone, kind of hunched down on the floor, and I was expecting it to be a small adult or something, because it was like all I saw was a winter coat. And then a 4-year-old face popped up, and I was pretty surprised.
His mother says she doesn't know how Adrian was able to drive the car. Police think he may have pushed on the pedal somehow first, then hopped back up in the seat, got on his knees or something, was able to steer the thing. Since his mother was asleep at the time, this was described as being in the middle of the night, didn't know that it was going on, that he had taken off with their car, so no charges are going to be filed. And Adrian, we're told, wanted to pick up a little truck game for his PlayStation.
Well, that's a pretty bright kid, isn't it?
I figured the whole thing out. Starting the car, getting in, putting it in gear, shoving on the throttle, and I don't know.
Sounds like a hoax.
Think?
Something's not right.
Yeah.
It's not adding up.
Well, now the police officer said that he witnessed it.
No, he didn't sound like a rocket scientist himself.
Oh, now we're going to malign the police department?
Something's just not right. 4 years old. It just drives 3 blocks, starts the cars, drives 3. It doesn't make sense.
Finds out the store is closed, turns
Makes
around,
no
goes
sense
back
whatsoever.
home.
Well, I think just because your kid's a little slow, Bernie, is already taking
I actually anticipated that comment from you.
What?
I actually anticipated that you would say that. It just doesn't make any sense. It's not right.
No, it doesn't. All right.
Too bad he didn't run you over in his travels.
Why would you want to wish some sort of harm to me?
I just can't imagine.
Anyway, 14 now, almost 13. Hilarious.
Take my hand and come with me because you look so fine that I really want to make you mine. I say you look so fine that I really want to make you mine. 4, 5, 6, come on and get your kicks. Now you don't need the money when you look like that, do you, honey? Big black boots, long brown hair. She's so sweet with her. Get back there. Well, I can see. You home with me, but you were with another thing, yeah. I know we ain't got much to say before I let you get away, yeah. I said, are you gonna be my Imus in the morning?
Ah, do you want to totally spoil your baby?
Cloudy skies today, though mild, high near 50 degrees. Currently 47 under cloudy skies in Central Park. I'm Tracy Burgess with the Transit Center Fan Highway Patrol.
1, 2, 3, give it to me. Oh, big body woman. People rolling behind. Ha, good God, need a big-bodied woman. Make me lose my mind. Lord, good God. Ha, hit me. Big-bodied. Don't care. Just don't give me no tiny hiney. Want that jumbo underwear, Lord. Good God. Pant load, hit me. Big butted. Big butted. Take me to the bridge. Take me to the bridge. Ah! Suck it to me. Big butt, give me a little peek. You got to. Lord, no, you got to. Got to learn to turn the other cheek. You mean why I do the boogaloo? Big butted, big butted. Take me to the bridge, jump off. Ah! Suck it to me. Big butt, give me a little peek. Lord, no, you got to learn to turn the other cheek. Big money woman. Show me your butt. Stand up, Miss Lady, show me your big butt. Get the spotlight in the big butt. Oh, I'm sorry, mister. Big butt dead. Big buddy.
Hey, people, what do we have?
Doesn't look good. Patients.
You know, at work. Get a couple of pointers, you know.
I never say anything to people when they all these the lowering them to the world with their radio programs, which are just you go unlistenable. Jesus God, what are you gonna do?
Dilettantes.
Huh?
Dilettantes.
I mean,
fakers.
Absurd. So, but anyway, well, he's a nice guy.
Very nice.
Hey, cool.
That's that. But that back thing of his is whatever.
That's a good, plausible explanation he has, I guess.
What is?
The explanation for his back?
Falling out of the treehouse?
Yeah, that's good.
Well,
Wonder what the real story is.
Well, I'm sure that is a real story.
That's slipping in a bathhouse or something down in...
not Scarborough.
Tampa bathhouse, yeah.
No, I don't think Scarborough.
Family man playing with us.
Yeah, that sounds good. That falls right in line with the persona that he tries to portray.
I think he's the real deal. Don't you?
No.
You don't?
Nope, absolutely not.
What do you think?
I think he's a player.
You think Joe Scarborough is a player?
I think he's splitting Ann Coulter like a wishbone.
Oh, come on.
You ask me.
Nobody asked you, you pig.
Oh, you just asked him.
Oh, I did ask. What am I hearing things? Well, you know what I meant. I meant metaphorically.
Well,
but whatever.
He didn't mean to ask you that.
Yeah.
He didn't fall out of the family tree, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because there's no branches on that baby.
Okay. Omar Minaya still sir with us, and nice for you to hang out, Omar.
Where am I going to go?
That's a good ball. Spring training.
They can do fine without me.
Okay. How about Pedro showing up early?
I think we better buy him a watch for Sunday. I mean, that's tragic when a guy show up that early for Sunday. I mean, get a hobby, go to the beach, something, you know.
Somebody to play catch with.
Yeah. He goes stand in the middle of the field going, where the hell is everybody?
Yeah.
Say, Pedro, you got a week yet, baby.
Well, don't you admire that kind of commitment, though?
Yeah, I think he should be committed at this point.
Oh, yeah.
8 days ahead of time, it's ridiculous.
So what information do you have about why he reported this? Well, as long as the general manager of the Mets doesn't know.
I heard that he just was very excited about being a New York Met, wanted to get down there early, get his arm into shape.
Let me explain, since once again, Rosen buffoon doesn't have the fact. He has a place in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So he's down in Miami, and he travels up to spring training, and he goes back down to his place in Miami.
He could have gone to his place in Miami a week later.
Yeah, but that's why it's no big deal to him. That's what he said. I have a place in Miami. He said these things. He was doing the interview, and he said that. He actually said that. I have a place in Miami, so it's no big deal. I'll just travel up, come back and forth. He went up for one day. He might not show up for the next few days.
No, he's there today. I think also third baseman David Wright of the Mets is there as well, and I guess those are the two guys that are kind of working out together.
Do you have any idea what's going on?
I just told you about David Wright and Pedro Martinez. Bernie has no idea what he's talking
about. Max Schmeling, one of the seminal events of the 20th century.
He died last Friday.
Yeah, but did you speak of it? Can you put it into any historical context?
Of course I did.
You can't.
He was a great man who actually used to hide little Jewish children in his hotel. A German guy who did not join the Nazi party and pissed off Adolf Hitler and actually kept Jewish children alive in his hotel room. So I do know what I'm talking about.
You think he'd come in on Monday and you maybe
he died on Friday, you idiot.
Yeah, but people want to know. He wasn't buried yet. Nobody knows.
John F. Kennedy was shot dead too. Should I talk about that today? That was only 40 years ago.
Well, that's a stupid example, you moron.
Listen, I'm having a tough day here at the station to begin with, okay?
This is where you need a guy like Frances or even Warner Wolf.
Sure.
Well, that's when you do need Warner Wolf. You're talking about Mike Schmeling.
Oh, come on. You don't have to be alive during the Revolution to want to know about it and understand it.
Very good point. Why are people angry at the station, Sid?
What? You know why they're angry at the station?
No, they're not. They're livid.
People they are. Who is?
Let me just say this.
People like Nancy at the reception desk, who, by the way, has her ashes already in place on her head. Good Catholic. And Michelle
Salvatore. Absolutely. She hasn't been to church in 20 years, and she's aggravated with me because I had some ashes.
Because you're mocking her religion.
Oh, please. Grow up.
What if on Yom Kippur I walked around with a yarmulke on my head and I went into the bagel store, I said...
Yeah, well, you haven't done that yet?
No, I never did anything like that.
Okay. I used to chase the Hasidim on the way to shul and them keep going down the street.
That was when I was a kid. You're a grown man mocking a religion on a solemn day. Putting ashes on your head, that's outrageous.
Really was really out of line.
In the shape of the Star of David, no less.
Yeah. I mean, that...
You gotta be, if you're really mad at me, you gotta be an idiot.
You're gonna end up like Yankel Rosenbaum before the end of the day, I'm telling you.
What happened to Yankel Rosenbaum?
He goes shivved to death by...
They beat him to death in the street.
No, they stabbed him to death. Some black guy in Crown Heights stabbed him to death. Yeah. Nice story.
Well, no, I just... might be some people say, like in Kansas City, wouldn't know what you were talking about.
Exactly right.
Anyway, Charles is here with the news. And did you want to read some?
I think Amy Robach was mad at me too, by the way.
She was offended.
You got to loosen her up a little bit, Chuck.
She's not happy about anything.
Chuck, you got
Amy wants to kill herself.
Oh, no.
Come on.
She wants to leave as soon as she gets on that set.
Well,
Amy comes in here and every day makes a hostage tape.
yeah, I mean, no doubt.
You can see her face. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
I mean, she's got to be thinking, what am I doing here?
Oh, my God.
She's a good sport, though. But
She's great.
Sure, I'll do overnights
Yes,
now.
that's
Great. Sounds good to me.
particularly when you guys get really out of line and she's sitting there. Oh my God. Just all the color drains out of her face.
Talking about rabbis putting their lips on babies. That's the story.
Just to kill herself.
The only thing you need to make that picture complete is 5 guys in hoods standing behind her. All of them with AK-47s.
And somebody with a sword ready to behead her. Oh, man.
Bless her heart.
Make Today Show career up in James.
Right now she's thinking, Katie Couric is, how long can she live? She's thinking I can move in for that?
Another Roback tape has surfaced.
Well, here's Amy when she worked with Imus. Oh, holy God.
Oh, yeah, Charles, I got the next story.
It's like this shot of Sid with the ashes and the Star of David, and then the next shot is Amy grimacing, just lumped in with the whole thing.
12 minutes after the hour.
She couldn't do any worse if they found a 13-year-old boy in her background,
Oh, my God.
No, she's happy.
I mean, all she needs to do is be caught with a handgun and crack outside the studio there. I mean, she can't make it up. Anyway, there's Chuck with some headlines. Good morning, Charles.
Pope John Paul II failed to preside over Ash Wednesday services at the Vatican, first time in his 26-year papacy. Instead, today's service at St. Peter's Basilica was performed by American Cardinal James Stafford.
On a serious note, I thought it was kind of interesting what Father Tom said. It did sound good, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, as a matter of fact.
I love Father Tom.
I do, too.
Anyway, I mean, I really do. As opposed to just saying that.
No, I know.
He was at my wedding, out in Utah. Well, you were there, weren't you?
I certainly was.
I know, I was. Anyway,
He did perform last rites on Deidre's father.
And then an exorcism.
Deidre's dad loves me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Tried to use to babysit him.
Look, Imus has ash on his forehead, but it says 666.
You look close.
I thought it was kind of interesting when Father Tom said that they don't say the Pope. They say the Pope is fine until he's until he passes away, which I don't know. It kind of made me sad a little bit. I don't know.
No, you didn't care.
Yeah, I did care actually.
No, we think of the Pope.
No, I did care.
As Cardinal Stafford said today, that people around the world think of this man, as they said, to think of him with great affection. And a lot of people do. Offering prayers for John Paul, whose health problems forced him to miss these services today. And Father Thomas Williams of the University of Rome says, though, that the Pope is getting better.
But that improvement obviously is conditioned by his age and his other health concerns like his Parkinson's disease. So it's a slow process. I think the doctors are satisfied that he's doing as well as he can, and we're hopeful that maybe at the end of this week he'll be let out of hospital.
No, he's one of those people who you just, well, maybe I'm just a sucker for this stuff, but it's one of those people who you feel affection for regardless.
Unless you're a creep like Keith Olbermann.
Well, Keith Olbermann
Who thinks it's funny.
Well, what did he do? What did Keith do? I didn't say it.
Well, when the Pope was giving the Sunday greetings from the window of his hospital, he was behind a piece of paper. You couldn't see his lips. So they thought it was taped earlier, and then at times you could see his lips, and he says, oh, he's lip syncing, like Ashley Simpson without the hoedown. And then you hear laughter in the background. That's not good. Imagine that was Martin Luther King sitting at his hospital window, talking to the crowd, and they're cracking jokes. The guy wouldn't be on the air. Where's the outrage?
Well, wait a second. Weren't you the same guy that was laughing at the Pope a couple of months ago, like the Dana Carvey doing a George Bush impression on this show?
No, I think I was the one who was outraged over the mocking of the Pope.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
That was Charles doing that.
Oh, that was Chuck, right.
But the Pope wasn't quite as ill at that point.
Exactly. The Pope was fine.
He's doing this from a hospital room.
Fine.
From a hospital room, and this creep bitch is cracking jokes.
Yeah, but
I mean, somebody really got to kick him in the teeth if you see him over there.
well, he doesn't show up over here till late in the afternoon, I guess, or whenever. We could get him to come in, and you could...
I'd be more than happy to.
Well, why don't we arrange for him to be here one morning?
Beer at the pier.
And then...
There it is. There's your
why
next
don't you
fight.
just... Why don't you just challenge
it'd be like clubbing a baby seal, and I mean that with him literally, a seal. The flabby, four-eyed piece of garbage that he is.
16 after the hour.
Ever since I was a kid at school, I messed around with all the rules. Apologize then, realize I'm not different after all. Me and the boys thought we had it sussed. Valentino's all of us. My dad said we look ridiculous, but boy, we broke some hearts. In and out of jobs, running free, waging war with society. Dumb blank faces stare back at me, but nothing ever changed. Promises made in the heat of the night, creeping home before it got too light. I wasted all that precious time and blamed it on the wine. I was only joking, my dear, looking for a way to hide my fear. What kind of fool was I could never win, never win. I'm in the morning.
Hi, this is Larry King. February is American Heart Month, and there's no better way to celebrate than with Welch's, because drinking a glass of delicious Welch's 100% grape juice can actually help keep your heart healthy. It's news to a lot of people, but studies have shown that the...
Listen, on my part, I'm there. Yeah. Just give me his address. I'll go to his house this morning.
Wow.
But, no, he would never. He would never dare.
How do you know he wouldn't?
Well, I just get that feeling. He's just a big-mouthed coward who feels safe in his cushy little studio making fun of a poor, sickly, old, beautiful Pope. And he wouldn't want to mix it up, you know.
How come everybody I like you have to make, like Jon Stewart, you say horrible things about?
Well,
Keith
I just
Olbermann,
try
you
to
say
be honest,
horrible
just try to
stuff
keep it
about?
real.
My friend Al Franken, you say horrible stuff about?
Al Franken is a buck-toothed retard.
That is really cold.
Okay, well, there's one.
Okay, that's one. All right.
And Jon Stewart's very talented, but he's just a phony. He just pretended for a long time that he was objective, and now we know the true colors. He's a Democrat, but for a long time, oh, I'm a straight shooter. We take shots at both sides.
Sure.
Which was wrong.
Right.
It was a Dan Rather thing.
Yeah.
But now he's been exposed,
now
we're cool.
Now we got to hammer poor Dan Rather. Hadn't he suffered enough?
No.
No, he hadn't. Now that's true, he hadn't. Anyway, Omar Minaya here from New York Mets, and I seem kind of odd that he's become sort of a recurring character here on the Iverson Morning program, but recurring guest. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to talk with Michelle Salvatore to just see exactly how outraged she is over this situation involving
mocking of a...
Hey, Rick, you want to be on the radio? Well, why? No guts. We get Rick thinking, well, I don't know what Rick thinks that is in this for Amy Robach appearing on this program. And how does that help her?
Learn how to deal with stress, that's for sure.
Oh, my God.
What to do in an emergency when a terrorist is coming at you. Starring Amy Robach as the
Hey,
victim.
Mark, has Rick Kaplan ever said to you what he thinks this does for Amy Robach? She's a nice girl, so... Little 2-year-old kid at home and nice husband and all that, and nice career, you know.
Mentally stable, so...
Well, her career and her future at this point is behind her. So...
You got a history of women who have been on your show and gone on to bigger medicine.
Don't cite some of the examples if you're going to cite.
Well, I couldn't think of any. To
yeah, you could. So...
Maybe she really just wants to kill you, and this will hasten that.
Well, no, it's not me. I haven't done anything to her.
Oh, no.
Well, what have I done? It's Bernard and Sid and Charles.
What's
well,
the
Charles
name?
up to the left there.
What's the name of the program?
Well, whatever. So.
Is
the Bernard McGurk show. Yeah, instead of giving up something for Lent, maybe this is like her penance. She do this for 40 days, and then when she died, she go right to heaven.
Oh. I think it's all part of making the program more visually, pleasant.
Right. Make it visually pleasant. Sit there with a bra and underwear tomorrow and wipe that puss off your face.
What the hell? What did you shut up? You
And you wear a paper bag, Sid. How about that? Over your head.
26 after the hour. Well, please welcome now to the Imus Morning program yet another Catholic.
Yes.
Well, not you. Pipe down here, sweetheart, okay? We'll get to you in a minute. Put on a ball player and just hang on. Naturally, best-selling author, Mike Lupica, whose most recent book, Travel Team, was #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. And he's a nationally syndicated sports writer, and he also appears on ESPN's Dreadful Sports Reporters with people who look like they could be roped off and could charge admission to watch them do stuff. Good morning, Lupi.
Remember that scene in Thelma and Louise right before they just decide to take the car into the great beyond?
Yeah.
That's what Amy looks like every time you turn to her. Here we go! Yeah, goodbye! One morning she woke up and thinks, well, someday I could slide right in there next to Matt on to the Today Show.
Oh, sure.
And now she's in the jump seat with you and Charles.
So, well, she's looking at turning letters for Pat Sajak.
27 after the hour. Please welcome now to the Imus Morning program, Michelle Salvatore, who is what's your job there?
Program manager.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm actually really pissed off at Sid, though.
Do you have to use that kind of
I'm sorry. I'm aggravated. I'm extremely aggravated with him.
But why? You don't even go to church. I don't get it. You don't even go to church.
I do go to church. That's what?
That's a lie.
Okay, first of all, you have no idea, Sydney. And when you come in here and you take black eyeliner and scribble it on your forehead, you're offending a whole bunch of people.
Right.
So it's not even just about offending me. It's about, do you have any idea how many phone calls I have had to yield in your defense right now?
You know how many phone calls I get a day calling me a dirty heave on my answer machine back there?
Yeah, well, sometimes you are.
Michelle. What are the phone calls saying,
The
Michelle?
beanie fits.
People are absolutely outraged. Absolutely outraged. And I have to agree with them. On Yom Kippur or Rosh Hashanah, you don't see us coming in here making fun of you.
Yeah, you do. You walk in with a chicken-colored Parmesan hero every Yom Kippur, stick it right in my face. Do you not?
No, usually it's pork chops.
Yeah.
Ham sandwich.
And bacon.
Have you had...
What?
Have you had the ashes applied? Have you gone through that ritual yet this morning?
I have not yet.
Oh, yeah. Will you be doing that?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's something I do every year.
Okay. And you go to church to do that, obviously.
Yeah.
When's the last time you go to church?
7-Eleven.
Shut up. Nobody you get a dot on your head.
In the name of the Father, my son. Half and half, too. God bless you. All right, go with God. Don't read the magazines unless you're going to buy them. This is no library. Put the Bible down.
You're terrible.
I've been queuing you about 5 times here.
Oh, snap.
Up to the neighborhood's annual football game.
Stock Exchange, sponsored by Leventhal. Bonds for stock buyers, bonds for stock buyers, stocks for bond buyers. Well, I know it's one or the other. I mean, assuming if I didn't get it just right. You're covered. It's just ridiculous. It's good. So I have. No, I don't. Well, I'm trying to get this done. Well, they want me to subscribe to the New York Times website, and I'm not going to. Well, according to this, let me just see here. I can't get this thing to work. It's a problem. Well, the market looks like it's, I don't know what it is.
All right.
Might be up 8 points or down. It doesn't make any difference. Don't worry about it. I mean, that kind of thing. Anyway, here in the ABC Morning program, we're talking with the program manager for WFAN in New York, Michelle Salvatore, who is greatly offended by Sid taking eyeliner. Where do you get the eyeliner from?
Oh, Tracy, surprise.
Tracy give it to him?
Yes.
What do you mean surprise?
Oh, it's just a surprise. Where else is he going to get it from in the morning?
Funzel? Ackerman's desk? Yeah, Mr. Ackerman.
He'll do it.
All right, I've got a little supply here. Hang on. It's the heady wipes.
I think it was despicable. That's what I think.
I think you and Bernie, by the way, I agree with Patrick from Queens on line 3. Good morning, Patrick.
Don,
Yeah.
I just wanted to know if Michelle is one of those A&P Catholics.
What's that mean?
What's an A&P Catholic?
They show up on Ash Wednesday and Palm Sunday.
And Christmas. Don't forget Christmas.
And Easter.
And when they get buried. And that's the only time you see them.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know if you're that kind.
Yeah, no. I don't think so.
You're a daily communicant.
Great call, Patrick. If you weren't dying enough, you got a call. Here's Doug the Slug from Connecticut on line 2. Good morning, Doug.
Hi, man. Here's one of the most sacred days of the year in the Catholic calendar. I turned on that TV this morning and see him with those ashes on his head. I started smashing stuff around my house.
Oh.
Yarmulke wearing yid. He just keeps pushing the envelope here.
He's a creep.
I wish those ashes were a whole pile after he come out of an oven out of Auschwitz.
No. We don't want to wish that on
See when you started, Sid? Say that? See when you started?
What was going to ask is get eyeliner on it.
No, I tried to light a cigarette and I set my eyebrows on fire.
It is serious garbage time.
All right,
Right away.
here's what's going to happen.
Auschwitz jokes are coming out.
No, I'm going to take Sid to church with me. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make him sit in church with me through a whole service.
You know, Joseph Abood is a Catholic, and kind of interestingly enough, his ashes are pink. Is that right, Abood?
Oh, I'm deeply offended, Sid, by what you've done. You know, I wanted to be a priest. I don't know if you know that.
No, why are we not surprised? You're a priest. You up into that one, Joseph.
Bernie, what do you think, Bernie? I was an altar boy. What can I tell you?
What have you repressed?
Well, listen, Mr. Imus, I have to talk to you about the set.
Yeah.
We have to talk. I'm your style consultant.
Sure.
It looks like Judgment at Nuremberg. It is terrible. It's that fake plastic front. I mean, who designed the set?
I don't have any idea.
But you have to take control over that.
We're concerned about the radio audience almost exclusively.
Well, it's obvious.
So then, it doesn't make any difference to me where I am.
Yes.
Put a microphone in the room and give me a switch and we're ready. So.
You've got to change it.
When are you going to show me that stuff, or when?
This afternoon. Where are you today?
Well, I'll be back over in Queens at about 10:30.
All right. Do you want to do it on the way home?
Stop by your store?
Yeah, I'll meet you there.
All right, let me call you.
I'll call you off the air.
You want to do it on the way home.
See you,
Bye.
What does he mean? You know, what a bird should do is call Rick Kaplan and redesign the set, although the set's fine. We don't care. So, anyway, Michelle.
Yes.
How does this sound?
What?
When are you going to go to church today?
After work.
Okay, why don't you take Sid with you?
I am going to take him with me. I'm going to bring you in. I'm going to say, everyone, this is Sid Rosenberg.
Right.
Stu from Imus in the Morning, the one that made fun of all of you today.
No, Sid, don't you think it'd be a good idea on a serious note here?
For what?
To get an insight into the Catholic religion and its ritual, and to understand how seriously they take it, and as they should, as you take various events in your all those phony days you guys get on, so that you understand how deeply you have offended some people.
A little penance.
Yeah, a little penance.
Yeah, but I do my penance on Yom Kippur, not on this holiday.
Okay, but we don't make fun of you when you do that.
Well, some of you.
No, I'm sorry, but
Well,
you
I'm
guys
not going
take a
to
whole day off.
How did we make fun of you when you had your deal?
Well,
you weren't even here. You took off.
I don't even get the day off. They make me work on my holidays.
But
you're not a practice
And I work for Jews.
You get the day off.
Oh, no, I
All
don't.
you guys, the station's
The whole
half empty.
I'm not going to church.
I'm not going to church. I'll start laughing. How's that going to go?
You'll come to church.
I'll
You'll
start
come to
laughing.
church tonight.
I'm not going. We don't want you to go.
Yeah.
You were asked to go by a non-Catholic. The Catholics don't want you, trust me.
Oh, no, I just thought it would be helpful.
Looking like, the old Reginald Denny, L.A. Ryan. That's what would happen. Just stay away from the church.
Well, Omar.
We're trying to pray.
You know, as a Catholic myself, I'm not bothered by sin. Because we believe that in order for you to go to heaven, you have to accept Jesus Christ as your personal Savior.
Right.
So sin is going to hell, baby. Straight to hell.
Yeah. Well, I think now, son.
Listen, that's fine. I'm prepared to go on. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Doesn't bother me.
I think the point is, though, that you're offending a lot of the older people that listen to the show. I've gotten so many phone calls.
We will say a prayer for you.
Yes,
We're a forgiving bunch.
Those are demographics that we wish would go over to OR anyway. I don't want to find anything. I'm
still operating the guy.
Yeah, get out. I was thinking somebody at home to turn the radio for.
Yeah, I'm doing a program of service now. Now I've just gone from a heathen to a hero, haven't I?
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
You're still a heathen.
You're still a dirtbag. So, 20 minutes till the hour here at the Average Swing program. As long as you're in the studio, do you have any sports set?
Yes, I'm in. Big game tonight. College basketball, UJCC matchup. Duke taking on North Carolina.
What time is that game?
That game is at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me check here. Double check. Cause I'm pretty sure it's at 8, but...
well, why don't you just say I don't know and I'll check?
It's 9 o'clock. Excuse me. 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Which is 8 o'clock somewhere else in the country.
Sure.
Sure. Last night, Illinois remained undefeated. They beat Michigan, but the other undefeated team in the country, Boston College, they lost at Notre Dame, so we're down to just one undefeated in college basketball. Told you the story earlier today about this guy that swam all the way across Biscayne Bay naked just to get to Anacornicova. But the guy ended up 3 houses away from Anacornicova and ended up on some lady's grass with a 3-year-old kid out there watching some naked man walk out of the water. Yeah, I do hate that too. He actually was taken away by the cops. He managed to beat up a cop, actually. By the way, let's ask Michelle what she's going to be giving up. Yeah, that's a good idea.
What are you going to be giving up, Michelle?
Besides, you know what? Puerto Ricans? You going to be giving up meat on Fridays? No eating meat?
Yeah, I don't eat meat on Fridays. Not during lunch. And I'm giving up
Well,
McDonald's.
don't they waive the meat deal?
During Lent on Fridays.
During Lent on Fridays, you can't eat meat. No. So,
Can you touch it, Michelle? Can you touch the meat?
I'm sure I can handle some meat, but I don't know if we're allowed to eat it.
See, she's a good Catholic girl.
Michelle, you are really just,
This is a girl that's offended with me.
Wait, I could say anything. I don't know all the rules.
talking about handling the meat.
Yeah. How about a taste? How about a little taste of my communion wafer while you're over here, right, baby?
Andy Rooney is announcing his resignation. Andy? Well, yes, I am. The final straw has been deposited on the pile. I've had it. I can no longer be associated with a medium, television, that has abandoned even the thinnest veneer of principle, convention, and probity. I'm not sure where to assign blame, but however it happened, Don Imus, the I-Man, has peddled whatever was left of his soul. You've seen it, or given the realities involved, more likely you haven't seen it. But Imus has broken faith with his radio audience of, 10 million people, say? For his television audience of, 10. If, that is, the MSNBC production staff happens to glance up at a studio monitor now and again. Difficult as it might be to swallow, term used advisedly, the I-Man caved into pressure applied from somewhere and moved his program from the gritty authenticity of a tough, hard-knocks radio studio in Queens, New York, to a location in suburban New Jersey that looks like it was designed either by Uday Hussein or an emporium of flits, a cavernous monument to theatrical excess that is headquarters of MSNBC. The idea? Moving to a dedicated television facility will generate television ratings. Excuse me, what the hell has it done so far? You've got, by my count, 8 program blocks on this turkey. Chris Matthews' hardball to the head-on train crash with Joe Scarborough at the throttle. None of them get any numbers, and they all originate from MSNBC headquarters. How does moving Imus to the scene of the damn crime do anything to get the damn charges reduced? Was the same genius behind this idea who was behind the Tucker Carlson coup? Yes, they've actually retained the services of Bowtie Boy in another stab at ratings. Stab me. Well, so be it. I guess we can only hope that the radio audience holds. Because I don't know about you, but I just can't envision legions of losers punching in with their remotes to see a now better lighted Imus gag up a lung coughing fit for another of those wardrobe malfunction outfits of his. WMD were never found in Iraq, but we know where the WND are, weapons of Nielsen destruction. Secaucus, New Jersey. Sad.
It's a very negative, cynical view of what's going on here. Accurate, but oh well. How are you gonna do? What's on tomorrow, Bernie? Perhaps Craig Crawford, Chris Dodd? Oh, that's a real ratings grabber, Craig Crawford. God. Why don't we just kill ourselves? AOB.
Thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away. The thrill is gone, baby. The thrill is gone away. You know you done me wrong, baby, and you'll be sorry someday. Kindness in the morning. Town fair tire. Camping. Town fair tire. Camping. Save breakfast discount prices. Town fair tire.
Town Fair Tire is New England's largest volume discount tire dealer with over 65 convenient locations. Their huge buying power means you get the guaranteed lowest price on tires. They have truckloads of Toyo tires arriving daily. And remember, when you buy your tires at Town Fair Tire, you'll always receive free mounting, free flat repair, free tire rotation, free snow tire changeover, and a free front wheel alignment with the purchase of 2 or more tires. Town Fair Tire also has the largest selection of custom wheels in New England and can design a tire and wheel package for any vehicle. So for the best price on Toyo tires, see the professionals at Town Fair Tire. Because no matter what you drive or where you drive, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Hi, this is Josh calling again to see if you received my resume.
Message erased.
Hi again, calling to see if you were out of your meeting yet.
Message erased.
Hola, hey, yo soy Senor Joshua.
Message erased.
You know, I sent my resume again. Maybe the last one got lost in the mail, even though I hand-delivered it. Anyway, it's me, Josh.
Message erased.
Hey, man, it's your old fraternity brother, Mike, and I'm...
Okay, it's Josh.
Message erased.
It's Josh. Josh with the resume. Resume Josh.
Message erased.
Looking for companies that are serious about hiring people? With the New York Times job market, you'll find companies that need someone right now. In print, job market is filled with these high-quality jobs every Sunday. Plus, you can find the most up-to-the-moment listings every day by visiting nytimes.com. So log on and find real jobs right now in the New York Times job market.
Call me. Call me.
Message erased.
The New York Lottery presents number 14.
Hello, it is I, romantic number 14. Ah, but I see you are shy, no? After all, the New York Lottery says picks and numbers that make you smile. But my little friend Cupid says 14, like Valentine's Day, can make you happy like 2 squirrels who have fallen head over heels into a bag of peanuts. Every day could be like Valentine's Day, filled with flowers, chocolate, and other tasty treats. So, do you find me attractive? Do you want my number? Of course you do. It is 14. So, my love, the next time you play the New York Lottery, remember, we'll always have 14. Besides, who says you cannot buy love? Not me.
The New York Lottery. Lotto. Take 5 numbers, win 4, and New York's Mega Millions. We've got your number.
Any student who is interested in learning more about the New York Lottery Leaders of Tomorrow scholarships should see their high school guidance counselor for details, or visit our website at nylottery.org.
So how was your wife's big surprise? Fantastic. She was so excited when she got the keys to her new BMW. Nice. And you said you got the car online, right? Yeah. I handled everything online. Got my best price, had the papers signed in my office, and even had the car delivered to the house with flowers. She never knew it was coming. Now, who did all that for you? DeFeo BMW, right in Tenafly. I logged on to DeFeoBMW.com and got right down to business. In no time, I got a great deal on the exact new 2000 2005 BMW 530 I wanted. It was fantastic.
Now, you didn't shop around?
Yeah, I made some calls. I even stopped by another store on the way home. They started me off with a much higher price, and after haggling, I was told I had to take the car immediately. The whole process made me feel uncomfortable.
So instead, you got your best price and enjoyed buying a car at DeFeoBMW.com. Pretty cool.
DeFeo BMW, minutes away in Tenafly, New Jersey, seconds off the internet at DeFeo, D-I-F-E-O, BMW.com. Home and office deliveries welcome. Special lease and finance rates through BMW Financial Services.
I'm Tracy Burgess with the Transit Center Fan Highway Patrol, brought to you by MYOB Small Business Software. Mind your own business with MYOB's award-winning small business management.
Mind my own business?
No, it's a sponsor.
Oh, I see.
Right. It's an award-winning business management software and accounting software available with Office Max with a special $50 gift card rebate.
You're lipping off to the I-Man.
No, of course. Would I do that, Mr. Imus,
Of course,
to you?
absolutely.
Mind your own business smarter. In Passaic County, New Jersey, westbound 80 at exit 58 in Patterson, an accident is blocking a lane there. And southbound Taconic State Parkway, right after Roosevelt Park, there's an accident involving injuries in the process of being cleared in town. Westside Highway southbound is busy between the Cross Bronx and the 130s. Lincoln Tunnel still has delays of 25 minutes, but it's clearing out of both the Holland and inbound George Washington Bridge. The Imus in the morning forecast, partly cloudy, chance of rain later today, high in the upper 40s. Currently 47 degrees under cloudy skies in Central Park. I'm Tracy Burgess with the Transit Center Fan Highway Patrol.
10 minutes till the hour here at the Imus morning program on the radio all over the country on MSNBC. Don't forget Fred and Nicole coming up at 5 p.m. in Tucson.
Amen.
And Sid and Joe at 10 o'clock in New York.
Yep.
And on the Sports Animal in Albuquerque. I don't know who's doing the show now. They're at 10 o'clock. But obviously, I'm not that interested either, am I? But check them out. Who comes on in Boston? Is that Barnacle?
Mike Barnacle.
Do we ever have Barnacle on more?
No question.
Yeah, I mean, he's not on enough. Here's Keith from Manhattan on line 2. Good morning, Keith.
Morning, Don.
How you doing, baby?
All right, how you doing?
Good.
All I can say is for all the people who are calling, all the Catholics who are calling up, who are insulted by Sid, it could be a lot worse because I'm Jewish.
Right.
And think about how embarrassed all of us are of Sid.
I can imagine.
I mean, I think us Jews have suffered enough throughout history. We don't have to pour it on by having Sid Rosenberg on the radio.
What do you say, Sid?
I'd say that Keith just had sex with a black girl last night, so she'd be the last guy to call.
Sid?
Yep.
Do me a favor?
Yep.
We got a few choices for you.
What's that?
A, they can put a muzzle on you.
Or?
B, change the name to Mahmoud.
Line 3 is Josh from Merrick, New York. Good morning, Josh.
First of all, that other Jew ought to take his skirt off. The bottom line is, you guys are all being hypocrites. Sid laughs at the Jewish jokes, and he laughs at all the other jokes. All of a sudden, if Bernie goes to a black church and declares himself the Lord our Savior, and he goes to a Spanish church, and he goes to temple.
I guess since I stopped using the oxygen, you started, huh?
There's another good ambassador for the Jewish religion.
Here on line 4 is Sean from New Jersey. Good morning, Sean.
Well, I mean, how many strikes are you going to give this guy? He should be suspended again. Hey, Sid, why don't you embrace an old Japanese ritual? It's called Harry Carry, you pig.
Oh, well, yeah, I think probably pig is using a pork reference. Was Sid. It greatly offends me even, doesn't it? You said?
Yeah, because it's not kosher. Once again, a shot at the Jews.
You really
What? He said it offends innocent swine. What are you talking about? Oh, lady.
Yeah, there's some fairly nice pigs I've known. So.
Of course.
Anyway, who's on tomorrow, Bernie?
Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
And Donovan McNabb.
Beyonce.
Okay, Paris Hilton, Beyonce, Donovan McNabb.
Right.
And Craig Crawford.
Be there.
Yeah. Omar Minaya, New York Mets general manager, kind enough to come over and chat with us. And nice to see you again.
It was a pleasure. I mean, one of the high points of my personal career.
I'm sort of curious as to how you have all this time when you would think that, you're coming up on spring training here in another week or so.
It's such a well-oiled machine, the new Mets 2005. Operates totally without me.
Sure.
I wind it up, put it on autopilot, they just go out there, win the games.
Did I ask you what your predictions are for the season? Or?
Prediction?
Yeah. How are you going to do, the team?
Oh, we're going to do very well. Very, very well. We're going to win some games.
We're going to lose a few,
Sure.
but we're going to win some too.
Are you going to win more than you lose?
Maybe. It all depends. You know, I'm not Kreskin. I can't predict, you know.
No, but I mean...
what do you want from me? To tell you, you want me to read the minds? I don't know, you know. This Beltran kid could choke the first time he gets up at bat, and he gets back into the dugout, and I beat his brains out. You know what I mean? I mean, anything could happen.
What if Pedro doesn't have it anymore?
But then we're just going to have to make him give back the money. That's all.
Right.
I mean, you do the same thing when you don't do what you need to do on the radio. You kick back the money, no? Don't you?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when I get killed by Howard Stern every reading book?
Yeah. Sure. I mean, you give it back because it's the right thing to do. Because you right. You don't do the job. You say, I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
You know, I try my best, but you know.
I'm now getting killed by inmates from Rikers. You know, what are you talking about?
I think there's a kid with a Morse code set somewhere in Poughkeepsie who's beating you in the radio.
I'm out of here.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Imus in the morning.
If you're... what has her...
How did she land here?
What is she thinking about?
What happened?
How does she think this is a path to any place other than Scores?
Amy, what happened?
Jesus. Anyway, Imus Trans Foods, the best place to buy them is on the internet. But you have to be careful because there are other people trying to rip us off with bandit websites.
Right.
And 100% of the after-tax profits from all Imus Trans Food products go to the Imus Cattle Ranch for kids with cancer out of Rivera, New Mexico, where I'm going next month.
Yep. It starts again.
We have a bunch of kids coming from Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go to imusranchfoods.com. You just, and Imus Ranch Foods is all one word. And then buy the salad dressing, the salsa's the best made.
Unbelievable.
Imus Ranch coffee, turquoise buffalo tortilla chips and stuff. The salad dressing is, the reason it's so good is because it costs a fortune to make, and so you can't make any money with it, but you can make a little. I don't care anymore.
But you can make people happy.
Just whatever happens, happens. I'm trying to do the best I can do. So, there's a lot of issues to deal with.
That's right. Heavy burdens.
Or you can call 1-888-284-IMUS and talk to the people at Imus Trans Foods there, and they'll send it to you. But don't stay on the phone with them very long and ask them a bunch of stupid questions because it costs money.
Yeah.
So we sold a humongous amount of stuff over the holidays, but we didn't make any money because you morons decided you wanted to chat with these idiots on the phone at Imus Trans Foods, and it's not helpful.
Place an order, hang up.
Yeah, it's just say, give me this 27 salt here, my address. Click. Better off just ordering the internet. Or you can shop at all of these stores, ShopRite, Stop and Shop. Bunch of stores here in New Jersey. I mean, they're all over the place. Imus Trans Foods, sponsored by New York Hospital, Queens.
So I'm looking at the TV the other morning, news and stuff, having my coffee, and I step out for just a minute to give my lizard a drink, you know. Anyway, I walk back into the room and I think, oh, Jesus, they've taken another American hostage. Oh, yeah, it's Jack, by the way. So anyway, I'm watching MSNBC somehow, and there's this blonde sitting there, and she's in an obvious state of acute, hopeless, my spleen's in my throat, abject horror. I mean, remember that CARE International gal that got whacked in Fallujah? That's what she looks like. But then it dawns on me that the rest of the hostage tape deal is missing. There ain't 5 guys with ski masks holding daggers behind her. And then I get it. It ain't a hostage, exactly. It's Amy Robach. And all it is she's on Imus. Well, not on Imus in that sense, God forbid, though you wonder how much worse it could be. So how's this girl's career going, huh? 1 minute you're co-anchoring news with, admittedly, a guy who's got dead flounder eyes, Randy something or other, but it's okay, it's tolerable. Then you wind up on Imus, and find yourself at one point sharing a TV screen with a freak show Jew who's painted a black Star of David on his forehead on Ash Wednesday. I don't know about you, but I'm taking dead flounder eyes anytime over that, all right? You gotta wonder what kind of karma's in Amy Robach's previous 5,000 lives that got the poor thing in this kind of a flustercluck. Because what could possibly be in this deal for her? Okay, how about nothing? Katie Couric had to pay these dues. Diane
Dan Sawyer? Excuse me, but I don't think so. What the hell? Connie Chung didn't have to pay dues like this sitting next to Dan Rather. He wanted to kill her. Didn't Robot have the option of saying, like, no on this thing? And is it too late now? Well, hell, you got me. But if MSNBC thinks this is going to get ratings, subjecting America to the equivalent of a recurring execution every morning, twice a morning, I think they're wrong. I know. People do stare at car wrecks, but for God's sake, just how much schadenfreude can be out there, you sick bastards? Pathetic.
It was always so easy to find an unhappy woman till I started looking for mine. I'm in the morning.
The GMC Envoy Entertainment Plus package is loaded with options like a 6 CD changer, XM radio, and OnStar 1-year safe and sound service plan. It even comes with a power sunroof.
Just a second, let's calm down. We had some ugliness with management yesterday, at least I did, in which they were threatening me. Well, they weren't threatening me, but they were encouraging me to discourage Sid and Bernard from attacking each other's religions. And I said, well, it's like with Wyatt, my kid, he's 6.5. So I'll tell him something, and then I'll tell him what the consequences are.
Right.
They said either do this or this is going to happen. So I say to Lee, what if I refuse to rein them in, which I, by the way, am doing. I'm refusing to rein them in.
Certainly.
And Lee says, well, it's not Lee Davis. He says, well, he said, I think it's going to affect the image and the credibility of whatever career you think you might have, and legitimacy. And you had to fight these charges of racism and all that stuff a few years ago because of stuff they said.
Right.
I said, that's not a bad answer.
It's a good answer.
That's a good answer, management answer.
You bet.
So once again, Bernard and Sid, what you both are doing is who's paying the price for this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but wait a second. Who initiates this?
I had nothing to do with it.
So first of all, whenever a priest or Catholic Church story comes up, you bring up that aspect of it, prompting me to defend my religion. But then he comes in with ashes on his head yesterday, in the shape of the Star of David, which is I was sitting minding my own business, doing nothing.
Yeah, but then you, I can't even say what you went to.
Yeah, but that was in the newspaper last week about the rabbi and the moil.
No, we just don't need to go there again.
But again, it was a fact. It wasn't an attack. It was a response to something that this guy did that was pretty horrible. What are you blaming me for?
Did you go to Ash Wednesday services yesterday, Sid?
Did I go to what?
With Michelle, did you go to the church yesterday with her so you could,
Yeah, I was
have a better understanding?
Yes, I was there all day.
Oh, now he's going to lie.
Of course I didn't go to church. Of course not. No, I did not go to church yesterday.
So he doesn't care. Are you sorry about what you did?
Of course not. Do it again next year.
3 minutes after the hour.
A mail carrier goes missing with an astonishing secret. Certainly fooled a lot of people into thinking she was an angel. Without a trace, CBS tonight.
Good morning. Read these stories today in Newsday. In New York, the $15 million grant helped the city's homeless dogs and cats. On Long Island, forget to take care of overdue parking tickets? Find out if Nassau County's ticket amnesty program could bail you out. And in Newsday's health news, can a broken heart actually cause a life-threatening condition? For news and information you can't find anywhere else, read Newsday every day.
Newsday every day. Newsday every day. If you think selling your stuff is complicated, think again. With just one phone call to Newsday Classified, you can turn the stuff you never use into cash. That's right. With one phone call, private individuals could place a 2-line merchandise ad for 7 days in Newsday for just $19.95. Great rates for cars and boats, too. Just call 843-3000. That's 843-3000. Phone number works for 516-631 and 718 area codes. Call Newsday Classified today. Newsday Classified, 843-3000.
Warm her heart on Valentine's Day, a day to remember that someone special. And what better way than with a gift certificate from the Salon and Lord & Taylor in Manhasset at 1440 Northern Boulevard. Choose the ultimate gift, a heart and soul spa package, which includes a warm cream manicure and a warm cream pedicure. Luxury, pampering, and a gift she'll remember. And as a gift with every Valentine's Day gift certificate purchase, you'll receive a 15% off your next floral purchase from 1-800-Flowers.com, the Flower Authority. It's a gift of total elegance, pure luxury, and pampering. Call the salon at Lord & Taylor, 516-627-3000, or stop in at 1440 Northern Boulevard. Valentine's Day becomes truly special with a gift from the salon in Lord & Taylor, Manhasset. Call today and take advantage of the flower special discount of 15% from 1-800-Flowers.com.
It is 5 minutes past the hour here on the Imus-Feb morning program on radio all over the country and on MSNBC. What's coming up here? Our version of Headliners and Legends, Craig Crawford, exactly, which we just pretty much mail it in from that point in the program on.
Yeah.
That's really unfair to Craig, isn't it? But anyway, he's coming up later. But before that, Senator Chris Dodd. However, we haven't done any news, and we should, because there's probably stuff going on. It's all sponsored by Bigelow Tea, which is the official tea of this hideous program. And here with what's going on in the world, Amy Robach and Charles McCord. Good morning.
And in the...
Good morning, men.
Good morning. Morning, hi, man. Morning, boss. Among the headline stories, the Vatican reporting that the Pope will likely leave the hospital later today. His spokesman says that he has been, and this is the word they're using, he has been cured of the breathing problems that caused him to be rushed to the hospital by ambulance on February 1st. Hospital spokesman says the Pope's tests have been good and that he has no medical problems other than the ongoing problems of already knew about, the Parkinson's disease and also certain hip and knee ailments.
Big question today, could the U.S. have done more to prevent 9/11? Well, according to a report in this morning's New York Times, in the months leading up to the 9/11 attacks, Federal Aviation Administration officials failed to respond to more than 50 warnings about Osama bin Laden and al-Qaeda. The information comes from a previously undisclosed report written by the 9/11 Commission last August. It says some of the warnings specifically discuss airline hijackings and suicide operations, but finds no evidence that the government had specific warnings of a domestic attack. An eerie admission from North Korea this morning. For the first time, North Korea has announced that it possesses nuclear weapons. North Korea says it needs those weapons for protection against an increasingly hostile United States. Along with that announcement, North Korea's government says that for an indefinite period of time, it is pulling out from six-nation talks to end its nuclear program. U.S. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice says that move would only further isolate North Korea.
And in Iraq this morning, violence rocks Baghdad. Once again, car bombed central Baghdad moments after a U.S. convoy had gone by. According to the U.S. military, there were no American casualties, but 2 Iraqis died and 2 others were wounded. Another blast hit the capital later, injuring 5. And the results from the Iraqi elections were due to come out today, but that has been delayed as Iraqi officials recount votes from about 300 ballot boxes because of alleged, tampering and that sort of thing. Middle East, where Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas has ordered security forces to prevent further attacks on Israeli targets. Abbas has also threatened unspecified measures if the violence continues. Order comes after this morning's talks between Israeli and Palestinian negotiators were postponed because there was a mortar attack on Jewish settlements in the Gaza Strip by the Palestinian militant group Hamas. The talks were meant to follow up a formal truce declared at a summit in Egypt 2 days ago.
It's election day in Saudi Arabia. The country is holding its first ever nationwide elections. However, women have been banned from voting and running for office. There are registration cards.
You got to be kidding.
No, they're forward-thinking, I do.
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, there are registration cards, voting behind privacy screens, ballot boxes designed according to international standards and Western-style campaigns. The first of the 3-stage elections are for only half the country's municipal councils. This will be the first time Saudis take part in a vote that conforms to international standards, albeit women aren't involved.
Right.
2 more phases will cover the rest of the country in March and April.
President Bush takes his case for Social Security reform on the road today, stops now in North Carolina and Pennsylvania. The president says Medicare is next on his fix-it list.
Well, don't play any cuts from him. I can't take him today.
We're not going to.
Good, thanks.
We'll spare you that idea.
Let me worry, deal.
After a show.
Painful. It's painful. Now, why didn't we just blow up Saudi Arabia? Why don't we just go over there and take the oil? Just say, you out there, Ahmed, go to France with the hookers and the cocaine, which you do anyway. And we're, go ahead.
Address it as the North Koreans are addressing their nuclear issue today. Say, yeah, we got a bomb.
And now what? Now what?
And by the way, you know those bilateral Six Nation talks? We're out of that.
The Imus Morning Business Report, sponsored by the New York Stock Exchange today at the exchange. New Century Financial Corporation Chairman and CEO Robert Cole will ring the opening bell to celebrate the company's recent transfer to the New York Stock Exchange from NASDAQ. The company, headquartered in Irvine, California, trades under the ticker symbol NEW. The closing bell will be rung by Cabot Oil and Gas Corporation Chairman, President, and CEO Dan Dingus. That company is headquartered in Houston, Texas. And they trade under the ticker symbol COG, and I don't know what the Dow Jones did yesterday. I had that report here, but of course it was down 61 points.
Yeah.
NASDAQ down 34. The composite closed down 45 points. Daily News is reporting that Sirius satellite radio boss and our boss, Mel Karmazin, is talking to Steve Jobs at Apple about striking some kind of iPod partnership. Karmazin reportedly sees a future beyond beaming satellite radio to cars. Sirius Satellite Radio and XM, two organizations that I have not had any personal contact with or any conversation about anything, and I don't know anyone who has.
Okay.
Anyway, they think that devices like an iPod equipped with satellite radio represents a huge potential market. Mr. Karmazin said the more devices we have, the more the audience. And Carly Fiorina, the babe at Hewlett-Packard, she perhaps one of the most powerful corporate executives in the country, on the front page of the New York Times. She's out at Hewlett-Packard here to discuss that. Formerly of CNBC, our old friend Ron Insana. Good morning, Mr. Insana.
I'm formerly of CNBC.
I haven't seen you on there lately.
Oh, actually, no, I've been traveling a lot this month. But I'm still there. And
you still have a show there?
Yeah, Street Signs, 2 to 3 Eastern every day.
What time is that on?
2 to 3 Eastern.
Well, nobody watches television then.
Well, that's the time I'm on.
Man, the wheels have come off your deal, haven't they?
Yeah, things are pretty rough. Yeah, you know, it's pretty much over.
How's that radio thing going?
Everything's great. We're in 110 stations now.
You know, that's great.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to that idiot Scarborough yesterday. Boy, he came in here with an attitude. Maybe he was in pain or something.
Well, he's got a new radio show with Westwood One.
Yeah, I understand. Well, all of you guys do, and they're all horrible.
My show's horrible?
Yeah, they're terrible. It's terrible radio. Have you ever listened to Laura Ingram? I don't want to disparage college radio. It's worse than that. You guys are on you guys are all on 200 and 300 radio stations, but you're on a time of day when it is cheaper for the radio stations to put one of you schmucks on than it is to, no, not you, but than to turn off the transmitter. What are you people, nuts? It's awful. Anyway.
God. Morning, Ron.
Morning, Mr. Evans.
How's the kid?
I'm on more stations than you are.
Yeah, but you don't make any money.
How do you know?
Doesn't have, well, because believe me, I know.
Yeah, I don't.
You're on a time of day when you can get on any radio station. You're on more stations than I am. What are you, nuts?
I'm in 9 of the top 10 markets.
It doesn't mean it means nothing. Anyway, what does it mean about Carly Field?
Why should I tell you?
You'll tell me or I'll beat the hell out of you.
I'd love to see you come over here and do that.
Where are you?
Get in your skinny little limousine.
Where are you?
Bring that frail little body of yours. I'm in Tenafly, New Jersey.
I've been working out lately, by the way.
Yeah, I've been working out lately, too.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Pound your little bald head in the sand.
Well, I'll take that straw-headed thing and tear it off.
Don't you wish you could swear now?
Oh, God, yeah, I know, but I can't take the fines.
Anyway, what does this mean?
The Carly Fiorina left.
Who cares? What?
The Carly Fiorina left.
What does it mean?
I was asking if I was trying to get back to the original question. I'm not quite sure what it was, whether or not I'm making money or whether or not I'm terrible on the radio or...
Well, no, you're not horrible, but those shows are all horrible.
My show is horrible.
He's been on the radio for 2 days.
But you're telling me my show is horrible.
Well, it's probably... How long are you on?
3 hours.
You're on for 3 hours?
Yeah.
It's got to be horrible. Can't possibly be any good.
Well, that makes it, what, 3/4 as horrible as your show?
What does it mean about the babe getting blown out at Hewlett-Packard?
Why should I tell you?
Well, I don't know. I can call Lou Dobbs if you want.
Well, yeah, you get an answer there. We'll talk about her next space venture.
Wow. Oh, man. Okay.
Insana from beyond the arc. That's how bad my radio show is.
That was pretty good, Ron.
Thank you there, Don.
So why did she get blown out here?
Well, listen, the biggest strategic mistake she made was acquiring Compaq Computer a couple years ago, which was a troubled computer company that was really, when you think about it, Compaq by itself was an amalgam of troubled firms. They had just purchased digital equipment some years back, which in the 1980s was a darling of Wall Street, but turned out to be a company that didn't have quite the staying power that everybody thought it did. She thought by combining Hewlett-Packard, which was having some difficulties, and Compaq, which was having a lot, they could become preeminent in a lot of different fields. Hasn't been the case. She had a big fight with shareholders over that. The merger only passed by 3%, and ultimately the co-founder of the company, Walter Hewlett, was somewhat disdainful of her moves, and the deal hasn't worked out. Hewlett-Packard has underperformed its peers, and it's also underperformed the market when it comes to the stock price, which is down, I believe, 34% from when she took over, and so she was forced out.
And she walked out with $21 million, right?
Yeah, look, man, that's the way this stuff works. You know, it's cheaper to have them go away than it is to keep them, and that's how those golden parachutes often take place.
So the whole thing didn't work. The company lost money.
Yep.
And she walks out with $21 million. No wonder people hate these people.
Listen, my dream is
you in there, bud.
Thanks very much. My dream job is to run a Hollywood movie studio into the ground and be given $100 million to go away because it's cheaper for me to leave than it is for me to stay. That's the kind of job I want. I know I can.